Welcome back to Beyond Native Hills. It's been a 5-year hiatus. We are still in Portland, and today, tomorrow, and ideally the day after, we will be backpacking the Loowit Trail around Mount St. Helens. It's about 30 miles, 6,500 feet of elevation gain in total or so.
A little here, a little there.
A little here, a little there. This is the lightest pack I've ever taken backpacking, but I've also never done 30 miles in 3 days. So we'll see how that pans out. We have Noah still here, and Oliver, who we found on the side of the street on the way to the trailhead, and he just happened to be doing the same hike. So yeah, gonna get some cool footage. We are currently in a cloud. We cannot see the mountain, so who knows if we'll see the mountain at all today.
Cool thing about St. Helens is I work here a lot in the summer, so it's a pretty familiar area for me. So I'm gonna share some fun tidbits as we walk along the trail here, maybe, as we see Adam take his shirt off.
I'm stripping.
So yeah, keep tuned for that. Let's talk later. We're walking up to tree line here at Mount St. Helens. And the interesting thing about this mountain is that tree line's a lot lower than a lot of other mountains in the Pacific Northwest. I've heard a couple theories about why this is the case.
All right, restart your tree line sentence.
I don't know if I want to. You have to keep that in the video.
I could.
Can we get demonetized?
We're not monetized.
Yeah, so as we walk up to tree line here, you'll notice that Mount St. Helens has a much lower tree line than a lot of the other mountains in the Pacific Northwest. I've heard a lot of different reasons why this may be, but the kind of explanation that I think makes the most sense is that this mountain has been so eruptive for the last 2,000 years that every time there's a major eruption, the mountain essentially is encroaching around the forest, and it takes time before the land becomes habitable for plants, trees, animals, etc. There's also no coastal mountain range between Mount St. Helens and the ocean. So a lot of the weather that would normally occur in the mountains on the coast, like the Tillamook area, the Cannon Beach area for Mount Hood, that doesn't happen here at Mount St. Helens. Instead, the snow, the rain, the wind all comes down the Columbia River Valley, and it hits directly at Mount St. Helens.
We are now about 5 miles into our 32-mile trip. We went up, I think, a little over 2,000 feet. Beautiful sweeping views. We've been going in and out of the tree line for maybe a mile and a half now. A little bit of snow, but super rewarding so far. And apparently we're gonna have water at the campsite, which is nice, because I don't think we're gonna have water before then. We're each carrying about 4 liters or so.
We are about 2.5 miles away from Camp 1 tonight. Adam and Oliver have been having a lovely time and are partaking in some reward for their hard work today. They really like the boulder fields in particular, and I gotta say I agree with them. But rest of the day, just a couple of miles of downhill, nothing crazy. Gonna go find a camp spot.
We've done about 13 miles today, 3,000 feet roughly of elevation gain, and then we just descended 2,000 feet into the ravine slash gully that we're in right now. So we are currently right next to the Toutle River. For a 10-mile stretch after this, there is no camping permitted. So we're doing bare minimum 10 miles tomorrow, and then I think a slightly shorter day after that. There are a couple other people camping here. To be honest, I was hoping we'd get a good sunset. I don't know if it's gonna happen. But it's a pretty cool campsite. We'll have the sound of the river all night. And here's a quick peek of Noah's setup.
It's pretty lit. Yeah, you know, we're gonna get some bears up in here and maybe some other activities as well. I don't know. All right, so we are just packing up from Camp 1 at the Toutle River, and we are going to be headed up to Mount St. Helens proper. So we're going to be headed into the blast zone for the next 10 miles or so. The blast zone was created in the 1980 eruption when there was a massive landslide that took out the whole north side of the mountain, knocked off about 1,500 feet of the top. And now it's a really, really cool area to walk through, kind of almost like a moon-like landscape. We'll see if there's any lupin growing in that area now. It's probably a little early in the season, but we'll take a look. Keep an eye out for mountain goats and other fun little features, so I'm sure we'll talk more about that.
We have about a 10, maybe 12-mile day today. First off, we have to cross the Toutle River. Noah told us it could be up to a waist-deep water crossing, but I think we might actually be able to cross it without getting in the water at all, so we're just going to rock hop, which will be very much preferable to doing a waist-deep water crossing. We don't have too much elevation gain or drop today. I think maybe 1,000 feet total of vert, so I think today will be easier than yesterday, which is encouraging. I don't know where I'm going right now, but I'm making my way towards the river. And we're gonna have a lot of sun exposure today. So I think we're gonna be above / out of the tree line for pretty much the entire hike. I also dropped my sunscreen out of my pack in the car. So hopefully I don't get sunburned. So I'm a couple minutes behind Noah and Oliver right now. I stopped for a while to get a cool shot of him at the switchback. Finally made it to the switchback myself, and we just have an incredible view of Mount St. Helens and this valley here.
We just climbed that. And now we're looking at St. Helens and the Toutle Valley. It's a pretty beautiful sight. I pooped there. And Adam pooped there. Now I'm relaxing.
All right, so we're officially in the blast zone, which is the site of the 1980 eruption. Yeah, we're gonna go across a couple of little creeks here, and then we're going to go up to the Loowit Falls Junction and then check out the oasis. And then we're gonna have the best part of the day, which is Windy Pass, which Oliver has been looking forward to a lot on this trip. So it's a really exciting next couple hours here, and we'll check back in when we have some more to share. Adam's wearing a sweatshirt on his head, and
We have made it to our second of apparently 3 river crossings today. We're now directly in the blast zone of St. Helens. So we're walking through a really otherworldly feeling landscape. Lots of gullies that we're going in and out of, lots of water crossings. So right next to us is Step Creek. But really cool scenery here. Lots of volcanic rocks. We have a beautiful view into the crater of Mount St. Helens and a cool waterfall there as well. We have about 3, maybe 4 miles left in our hike today. So we'll make, I think, pretty good time apart from the last stretch, which apparently is quite sketchy. We'll see.
Good afternoon. We have reached Windy Pass, the scariest part of the Loowit Trail. Off to one side, you can see the plains of Abraham and Mount Adams. And off to the other side is the blast zone in the Mount Margaret wilderness. And we are sitting on the saddle between the two. Last time I was here, this is where I turned around and my trip was over because it was so sketchball that we thought we were gonna die. So if I see you on the other side of this video, I'm still alive and we made it. Cheers. Made it to the other side of Windy Pass. Redemption has been completed thanks to our guide Noah over here. He helped us get down a lot of the sus sections. There was some scree, there were some sections of missing trail. It was a little hairy. We did some bum scooting, but we made it. And now we're here to celebrate. Cheers.
So after a 12-mile day with another 3,000 feet of climbing, we are now in the Plains of Abraham. So it's the section just past Windy Pass if you are doing the trail clockwise. We hiked probably another 2 miles past the bottom of Windy Pass, found this cool spot, and we have great views of both Mount St. Helens and Mount Adams. Adams looks really cool from this angle, and of course, so does St. Helens. It's really cool being this close to the mountain, although it is somewhat windy here. So we'll see how windy it is tonight. Each of us have found our own setups, and they are reasonably wind shielded. Mine is probably the least wind shielded, but I think my tent is generally fine in the wind. So we have my setup, and Noah's setup, and Oliver's setup over there. And yeah, there may be water near here. On this trail, there's water maybe once every 8 to 10 miles, so we each took about 4 liters of water. Noah took 2.5. So as long as you take a reasonable amount of water. It is the morning of day 3. It was windy all night last night. I wasn't too concerned about my tent blowing over, but it was loud and I got like maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep tops. So, got a lot of energy for today. We're doing, I think, about 8 miles, not too much elevation gain, but we have, I think, about a 2,000 foot descent right at the end. I'm not really looking forward to that, but after that, we're going to get some in and out, and I'm going to get probably 6 or 7 double doubles, and some animal fries, which sound really good to me right now. Got a cool view of St. Helens behind us, of course. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but we are all packed up. Oliver is filtering some water, and Noah is fertilizing the plants, which I think I'll do before we leave as well. But our packs are as light as they will ever be this trip, and so the last day, hopefully, should be the chillest. We have a bunch of gullies we're crossing today, and then a big boulder field apparently, so we'll see how that goes.
Alright, so we're crossing this pretty rad snowfield below the shoestring notch, which is that notch up there you can see at the top of the mountain. This is pretty cool because normally this is all melted out when you normally do the Loowit, but we get a chance to walk across some snow. It's both hot and very cold, so we're kind of struggling with that a little bit, but yeah. Thinking about my double at In-N-Out, thinking about, you know, other activities. Hamburguesa. But yeah, let's go get the soup of the day, guys.
So Noah here, he forgot to put the clips on his hip straps, so he has to tie his backpack up every time he puts it on or takes it off. And it takes a solid, like, 3 minutes for him to tie his goddamn hip straps together.
So we've reached the last leg of the Loowit Trail, or so we thought. And we're in a massive field of boulders that never seems to end. You could call it hell. It is a field of shit, and we're swimming in it. And I want to die. Give me my double now, please.
Nine miles, many rocky gullies, many boulder fields, and a snowfield later, we have finished the Loowit Trail. So in total we did about, I think, 35 miles in total, so a little bit over the claimed 32 miles for the trail. And I think total elevation gain was somewhere around the 7,500 foot mark over 3 days. The descent was a little rough. My knee was a little tweaked for the last, 2 hours or so, but we made it back. And our next stop is In-N-Out to get probably 17 double doubles between the 3 of us.
And we didn't dump.
And we didn't dumph. Actually, where does that phrase come from?
Did not finish.
Oh, did not finish. Dumph. Dumph. We didn't dumph. We did finish. And we made it out alive. So we spent about an hour, 20 minutes waiting for our In-N-Out. And this is Oliver's first time trying In-N-Out. How was your first bite?
Worth 2 hours of waiting?
Hour
We'll
20.
see.
Hour 20.
We'll see.
Okay.